Welcome to Lesson 7 in Unit 17, Structure, Function, and Survival. In the previous lesson, students explored different examples of internal and external structures of animals and plants, and how these structures function in the behavior, growth, reproduction, and survival of the organisms. In this lesson, students will choose 4 animals and 1 sense or structure and do a research project to compare and contrast the sense or structure across different animal groups. There are several ELA connections throughout this lesson, which is approximately 5 days. In the Engage portion of this lesson, students will think back to the various examples of animal structures they have learned about in this unit so far. Ask the students to choose one adaptation that they found the most interesting, such as eyes. Have students share their ideas with the class. Other responses may include ears, fur coat, or tails. This is the preliminary stage of the research project they will be conducting, so teachers can frame this as a brainstorming session to generate topics for research. In the Explore portion of this lesson, students will begin their research project. Depending on your class structure, they can do research in class or outside of class, or both. You may also wish to have a draft check-in date where you review their work. Students should use the research project instructions and rubric sheet. Explain to students that they must pick one of the structures or senses listed below and 4 animals. The structures and senses a student may choose from include ears, eyes, nose, mouth, limbs, tail, and skin or coat. Once a student has chosen one of these structures, they will research that structure in 4 different animals. Students should choose one animal from each category, such as bird, mammal, fish, and reptile or amphibian. Students will have a total of 4 animals chosen. For example, one student may choose to research the eyes of bears, eagles, salmon, and rattlesnakes together. In the Explain portion of this lesson, students will need time to research their structure and animal choices, then complete their project. Keep in mind that this will take up the bulk of the 5 days recommended for this lesson. Students should refer to the research project instructions and rubric sheet to help them outline their research. Give students the chance to use reputable resources such as books or websites like PBS, Nova, National Geographic, or Ask Nature. This is also an excellent opportunity for students to have time in the library to research using book and print resources. If your school has a librarian, reach out ahead of time and ask about book recommendations that are grade level appropriate. Once all projects are completed, it may be best for students to view each other's final work via a gallery walk or partner sharing. In the Elaborate portion of this lesson, students give their peers feedback on their research project writing. Students may use the research project rubric sheet provided to fill out the rubric for one or more peers. If time permits, students can then revise their project using this constructive feedback. Final drafts of their project should be submitted to be graded. This assessment opportunity also connects to the several ELA standards listed in the lesson plan sidebar. See the curriculum document of this lesson for more information. In the Evaluate portion of this lesson, student work should be graded according to the rubric provided. After students have completed peer reviews, teachers should assess projects for a grade and provide final feedback to students. In this lesson, students chose 4 animals and 1 sense or structure, and then did a research project to compare and contrast the sense or structure across different animal groups. Students figured out that each type of animal may have a similar sense or function. However, the structure of the same sense may vary from animal to animal based on their environment. In the next lessons, students will use what they have figured out in this lesson and previous lessons and apply it to mealworms.